that is known as family diversity. So in the family diversity, we have to discuss about households. About household. So what is a household are all about? We can define it as one or more people living in a particular dwell. One or more people living in a particular dwell. Particular dwelling. This definition includes, of course, family. But while all families are a household, not all household are family. So this idea can be explained by looking at three different types of household structures. So what could be the household structures? Number one, we have single person household. Single person household. Single person household are where adults lives alone, either because of the death of the partner or the breakdown of the relationship or through a personal choice. So where person who stays alone, okay, could be so many reasons. Could be the death of his or her partners, or breakdown of the relationships, or it could be his or her personal choice. Then number second could be couple household. Couple household. Let me rewrite it again. Okay. Couple household. Couple household consists of two people without children. Consists of two people without kids. Such as household may include couples who have not yet started a family. What could be the broader perspective of it? Uh, who haven't started family yet. Other could be those whose children have left home. Children left home. That could be another couple household definitions. We also called empty nest syndrome. Empty nest nest syndrome. Third could be those who have chosen to remain childless or can't have a child. So that could be uh, they have a choice to stay together but without a child. So that could be another definition of the couple household. Here I will add few of the suggestions given by Rosianel 2006. Suggests that an additional category in this type of household, couples who live apart. He introduced the term couples couple who live apart. These are people in the stable relationships and who spend significant amount of time together but do not share a home. Some couples do this because of work demands, and different routines would make it difficult to live together. So other couple choose this type of lifestyle because they want to maintain some independence. So often because they have a demanding career, this arrangement is often referred to as living apart together. People are happy to not to share home, but they are happy. So this is called living apart together, and this is known as LAT. Couples who are married or in a long-term relationship but do not live together. So that could be another things to do. One more thing I want to discuss in that perspective is the nuclear family. That would be a long discussion on this term, nuclear family. Nuclear family consists of parents and children, two generation could be, and these have a widely seen as the most common type of family in the modern industrial society. So there are some variation in on the two generation structure of the family. Is this may include reconstituted family, reconstituted family. Now what is reconstituted family, also known as step family? Step family resulting from the breakup of one family due to death or the divorce, sometimes called a step family. This involves the breakup of one family. So when reconstituted family develop, it develop uh, due to the breakup of one family and reassemble as a new family through the marriage or the cohabitation. So reconstitution, what is reconstitution? Reconstitution is the making of one more new family. Okay, it could be through marriage or the cohabitation. So third structure of the household was shared household. Shared household. Shared household involved a group of unrelated people living together. This that could be maybe a temporary one, such as when students live together, or the permanent, such as people who live in a community. So that could be a shared household when people stay together in the same room, but they are not a kind of a couples. So these are three basic structure of the family, sorry, for the household. We were talking about some of the variation in the nuclear family. Let me discuss further that what are the variations. A more recent variation on the traditional nuclear family involves same sex. We were talking about two generation, so there has been variation is same sex families. It could be gay or lesbian. It could be gay or the lesbian. So same-sex couples in the UK, same-sex couples have been able to marry since 2014. Some same-sex couples are in a civil partnership, which give them some of the same legal rights as married opposite sex. So opposite sex heterosexual couples. Now, moreover, if we talk about some of the diversification of the family, that was the household. Now we will discuss, although we have a clear discussion, but some of the new terminologies that becomes the part of the family diversity is the lone parent. We are talking family diversity. Let's see what comes into this heading. Is the lone parent or single parent family? Lone parent family involve mother or the father bringing up children without a partner. In the past, this kind of a family was often seen negative as a broken or the fatherless family. The adult may be married or unmarried. So many single families arise from the death, separation, divorce, but others from a decision to have a children without being married or the cohabitation. So that could be one more thing. Okay, that was a lone family. Other could be extended family. Extended family are a different type of the family structure that takes two basics form. It could be vertical extended family, or horizontal extended family. Horizontal extended family. Now, what is vertical extended family? It involves three more generation, like grandparents, parents, and kids. Horizontal extended families are those with the branches within a generation, such as aunts, uncles, living with a close or each other. Then we more have matrifocal families. Third one, matrifocal family. Matrifocal families are female focused variation on the vertical extended family. For example, it's a female focused family. Female focused family. For example, a female grandparent, female parent, and the children with a little, if any, support from the male partner. While on the other hand, patrifocal family, patrifocal family focused on man. Both type of extended families, like vertical or the horizontal, exist in a contemporary industrialized society, but Gordon suggests that the most common type is now modified extended families. Gordon said we have new type of family that is known as modified extended family. Modified extended family. Modified extended family is the contemporary form of extended family. Family members maintain contact but rarely live close to one another. Family members keep in touch both physically through visits or exchange to help and the services, but and emotionally via telephone, emails, or parents, but not necessarily having a frequent personal contact. So that becomes modified extended family. Then other family type could be fifth one. It is fifth one. Yeah, that could be fourth one. Family of choice. Family of family of choice. Family of choice refer to the relationship that are chosen rather than being given by a blood relationship or through marriage. Though many marriages are based on choice, they involve legal commitments that cannot easily be ended. The term family of choice has been used particular for a situation where people are freely choose to create a family like relationship with others. It was first used by Western 1991 to describe how gay, lesbian, and bisexual people were using the term family for their social networks. So you are free to choose your family. So because of that, you can have a same sex family, same or opposite sex family. So it's up to your choice. Then there are some dimension of the family diversity, some dimension of the family diversity, dimensions of family diversity. The first one is organization culture, or you can say organization diversity. Organizational diversity. So first we need to understand that what are the family diversity. It is the expression of the range of the family types in a society from nuclear through extended and reconstituted to single parent families. So diversity that initially was nuclear then becomes extended, like nuclear emerged from extended and then becomes reconstituted family and then become single parent family. So all these options within a family become diversified. So we are talking about the organization diversity. This refers to the different way in which roles and responsibilities are distributed within a family. Role and responsibilities are distributed within a family. So the diversity comes from different pattern of works, both within a and with outside the home, and from changing patterns of marriage and divorce different in the marital like conjugal roles between social class are or you can say have been changed, which we'll discuss later in this lecture. Then number is social class diversity. Here we will discuss about conjugal roles. Let me discuss first what is conjugal roles. Conjugal roles, male and female roles played within a home. Joint conjugal roles involve adults within a family sharing domestic duties. You can say conjugal roles sharing duties, that man do this work and woman do this work. They are all happy to do or to perform their responsibilities. Segregated conjugal roles involve we have more term. It's segregated. Segregated conjugal role involves a clear separation between family roles. This traditionally involves women having responsibility for domestic labor and men for a paid work outside the home, while the conjugal roles within a family are sharing of the domestic duties. So segregated, what is segregated? Women will do domestic work while man will do work outside home, outside of home. Now the next is social class diversity. Social class diversity. Let me introduce sociologist O'Neill. makes a several observation about the single parents when compared to two parents family. Single parents are more likely to have working class origins. They are also likely to have a lower average incomes and to live in a poverty than two parents family. While we have one more term in that is beanpole family. They believe that single parent family will not be stable as much as the two parent family stabilized. So beanpole family structure are less common in the middle class families. The average age of the working class mothers when they have their first child is much lower. As a result, four or occasionally five generation families are more likely to develop. In the intergenerational, vertically extended family structure, when they are weak, intergenerational links, these structures develop in a societies with low or declining birth rates and increasing the life expectancies. So, beanpole family is all about the structure develops in the society with lower or declining birth rate and increasing the life expectancy. Why it is happening? Because intergeneration or the vertical, you can say extended families structure with very weak intergenerational links. This structure develops in a society with a lower declining birth rate. So family relationship also show that high level of class diversity. Adult relationships in the middle class family are more likely than in working class families to be a symmetrical. One more term is symmetrical family. Symmetrical family. Symmetrical family is a relationship in which family roles are shared equally within the home. So they are very much, you can say, same at the home. One more person I will introduce over here is Lario 2003 suggests that parents of different class interact with their children in a different way. Middle class parents generally adopt a deliberate parenting style that actively foster the children individuals talents opinions and skills. Working class are more likely to adopt a parenting style based on around natural growth. Parents care for their children, love them, and set limits for them. But within these boundaries, they allow the children to grow spontaneously. So the middle class women are much more actively involved in their children education through monitoring the school progress and questioning teachers about their children's school's performance. So that was simple overview about the household and the diversity within the family. Now, what is the topic we basically want to discuss is underlying the factors which explain increase the household diversity. So, what are the reasons which basically increase the household diversity? The household diversity which we were explaining at the top. So, the number one, what are the reason of changing the household diversity? Number one, changing pattern of marriage, changing pattern of marriages, divorced, and cohabitation. The increase the long-term decline in the marriage or increase in the cohabitation or the divorce can explain many of the above trends. The fact that people are getting married later explain why they are more, in a single parents and all this stuff. Any divorce which involves children is very likely to create one single parent household and one of the single person household for a period of time, and then many of these people will go on to form reconstituted family. So relationship breakdown is a more common among cohabiting rather than married families, and the cohabiting families household is fastest growing family in the UK. Higher rate of divorce also explain the increase in the multi-generation household, and the single mothers move back with their family, thus forming a multi-generation household. Then we just wanted to discuss number second is postmodernism and postmodernization. Postmodernists argue that increase in the diversity of family household structure reflect fact that we live in a diverse, tolerant society in which people are free to choose any type of family. So that their idea. More people choose to stay single, and hence there is an increase in the single person household. While kidult household, and because people are more tolerant and easier than it was to be able to single parents today, because there is a less stigma associated with being a single parent. Third is economic factors. The long-term increase in the wealth and overall rising the living standard explains the long-term increase in the single-person household. Generally, whether countries have a higher proportion of single-person household, but it is only wealthy countries where significant number of people can afford to live alone because it's expensive compared to the adult sharing the cost of the mortgage, home bills, or the food. It seems when people can afford to do so, they are more less likely to live alone. However, not everyone has benefited from increasing the wealth in the if we talk about from the UK perspective, because at the same time, an increasing wealth, the cost of living and especially the cost of house has increased. This explains the recent increase in the multi-generation household at the lower end of the social class scale, and there are millions of people who cannot afford to buy even rent of their houses. Then fourth factors could be feminism, changing the gender role, changing gender roles. Liberal feminists and the late modernists would point out that increasing the number of women going into work as one of the most important underlying structure shift in the late modern society. Rather than needing the depend on the man for the financial independence, women are now much more likely to focus on the building a career before settling down and starting a family. This goes some way to explaining increase in the single person household, the increase earning power of some way to explaining the increase in the single person household, the increase earning power of the woman also explain the growth of the number of never married women who choose to have babies on their own. So women increased financial independencies has also led to relationship becoming more fragile, and thus people helps explain increase in single parent household and single person household uh, following divorce. Then number fifth could be social policies. Social policy, the new rights. There are two important policies which lie behind the many of above changes. In 1969 Divorce Act, in addition to the above, the new right believed that overall welfare benefits have created an underclass in the UK, and the subsection of this underclass consist of teenage girls who choose to get pregnant in order to get council house and live a comfortable live on welfare. So majority of the girls who wanted to get pregnant because they wanted to get benefit from the facility service. Then sixth one is late modernism. Late modernism argued against postmodernism. The increase in the family diversity is not simply a matter of individual having more freedom of choice and choosing to live alone or becoming a single parent. People are forced into these options because of the structural changes and make life more uncertain. So first could be most people don't choose to live their parents when until they are 30, and most people don't choose to live in a multi-generation household. They do so because they have to out of economic necessity. So second reason could be most people still want to get married and have a children, but few people to do so because of the increase in the risk consciousness. Third could be like it was the Ulrich Ulrich talk about individualism, where our personal commitments are more important than our social commitments. And if we talk about the last one, like if I add seventh one, it could be other factors apart from above. Uh, Other factors like number one could be few people today are living in a couples. There has been a big rise in the number of people living alone. Like in 2006, almost 3 in a 10 household contain only one person. Half of all one person household are people of pensionable age, and many women in their 70s or the 80s live alone simply because there are too few partners available in their age group. So that could be another reason. The next, because few people are available in their age. So mostly people are pensionable and stay alone. Last could be the massive expansion in the higher education has been seen the number of undergraduate students like triple 1970s to it's becoming the millions. This means young adults are not in the work and economically depend on their parents for a longer period of time. So that could be another factors to that explain increase in the household diversity. So that was the